I'm Jordan Stobie. I'm the executive director for Pandion Music Foundation. NIE, program director, is here as well. And Rebecca, our chair, board chair, and managing director is here too. So we'll be leading today, and we are a 501(c)(3) nonprofit that provides community and skill building opportunities for music creators in Los Angeles and beyond to cultivate long-lasting lives in music. Really honing in on community this year. And yeah, we're just really excited to be continuing to host these weekly workshops for free for music creators in different themes this year. So we've got industry insights, which is what we're doing today with Rashad. We also have community conversations where we have more of a community discussion with everybody. Everyone's welcome to join in and chat. We'll also have um, the college edition, which is another theme that we're adding this year. Next week's workshop will be featuring a university student, which we're really excited about. So stay tuned for the different themes we'll be hosting with these workshops this year. And we're so excited to have Rashad back, who led a workshop in 2023 with us. I can't believe it was that long ago already. But Rashad's one of our favorite music supervisors in LA, and we're just always so happy to have you a part of the community. Rashad's a music supervisor who specializes in or founded Mad and Flow Entertainment, which is his company, which is so cool. Check out the website if you haven't already. They specialize in supervision, music clearance, and custom music requests. And before Mad and Flow, Rashad worked at Universal Music Publishing for nearly 5 years while licensing music for film and TV, and has pitched and licensed music that has landed in projects seen on Amazon Prime, Hulu FX, ABC, CBS, Netflix, and more. Um, so yeah, I know that all of you are always eager to meet more music supervisors in the area, and we're so glad you're here and showing up and getting the opportunity to be face to face with someone who might be interested in your music at some point. So I just want to urge everyone again to ask questions throughout the chat. You can put it in the chat, or you can raise your virtual hand and we can call you on. And yeah, Rashad, welcome. Oh, I'm just
Oh,
going to mute you. Sorry, you're muted.
yes, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. And I'm, excited to dig in. And also, just to emphasize, please pop in with any questions. I personally do best, and I feel like y'all will get the best out of me once we're just bouncing from question to question and digging in. So please let that be like an open kind of rolling thing.
Cool. Yeah, it's always, I mean, take this opportunity. I feel like whatever questions you have, I'm sure there are other people on the call who have the same questions, so don't be afraid to pipe up and ask them. Rashad, do you want to start by just filling in a little bit more about your background? Always a nice way to start, and let us know what led you to this spot in your career.
For sure. I think, I could say it starts with me being a musician first. Started with the trombone of all things and transitioned into bass once I got sick of walking on the bus, banging people in the elbows and knees with my trombone case. So, um, yeah, I would want to say from, started as a musician, then ultimately going to Berklee College of Music. That's where my eyes got more open to the music business side of things. From there, did multiple internships throughout my undergrad, um, which led me to multiple cities as well. BMG in New York, ASCAP in LA, and ultimately, getting that taste of LA, it really made me want to come back out here, and in a greater capacity than interning. Um, so, after graduating from Berkeley, I spent the extra year in Boston, saved up, and then kind of did the jump to LA with nothing guaranteed, just a car and savings, and did like what do you call it? Temp jobs. I took temp jobs, but within the entertainment industry. Um, so at that point, bounced around from like Beats by Dre to ultimately Universal Music Publishing Group. And then that Universal Music Publishing Group temp job just converted into a full-time job. So you could pretty much say I went from like having my toe in the door to having my foot in the door. um, and started off in the royalty department, and you know, from just running into people at the kitchen, at the coffee stand, to running into coworkers at the holiday party, and so on. I just really started to have conversations and understand what other people did in different departments. And as soon as I realized that, the same way I was getting a salary to do Excel spreadsheets for royalties, someone else just a room over was getting a similar salary, but to listen to music and pitch music for the shows that I'm literally watching to to ease my mind after I spent all day looking at an Excel spreadsheet. Like I just was locked in at that point of like I got to figure out how to transition to do more of the get a salary to be creative side of things, and ultimately that led me to a gig that was outside of Universal. It's called Anthem Entertainment, formerly called Ole Media. The only way you, if you aren't familiar with either of those names, the only way you might have some familiarity with them is the fact that they have a chunk of Timberland's publishing catalog. So essentially, after working at Universal, they took that, or I guess I should say, they gave me the opportunity to work in that creative capacity of pitching songs from their catalog for TV, film, ads, video games, any kind of medium, with a focus on, Timberland's catalog in addition to the other writers. And, after getting a handle on that, I pretty much just felt like I had enough relationships and contacts to branch off and found Madden Glow Entertainment, which, to give you a timestamp, I founded MFE in late 2019, so just before the pandemic. And yeah, here we are, like 5 years and some change later. And yeah, primarily servicing independent artists, independent songwriters, and so on.
Amazing. I love that. That's such an exciting thing that you were able to kind of know the ins and outs of the industry so well and gather all those relationships and build that up and then start your own company, which is just congrats on that because that's a huge feat. Um,
Thank you.
and yeah, definitely. I think, and I put your website in the chat. So if anyone's interested in checking it out, it's a very cool website and you're doing really cool things. Before we jump into
Appreciate
the
it.
chat, just maybe like since 2023, when you were last on with us, what's maybe been a favorite project you've worked on so far since then with the company?
Got it. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and shout out Jared, who's in this group right now. One of my favorite projects, hands down, was the KFC ad campaign we did. I think it came out what summer of last year. Um, it just one of those rewarding experiences where we pitched for like a random brief that was like, hey, we need some Neptune sounding stuff, like literally maybe around like 2022, 2023. And fast forward, a couple years later, we didn't land it for that original thing, but it ended up working and fitting perfectly, for this KFC ad. So that's been a big favorite of mine. Another one too, I would say, would be Queen Charlotte, which is the Bridgerton spinoff series, where they gave us like just full license to, hey, any kind of covers of prominent Black artists, we want to hear that. String quartet covers. You pick the artist. We recommend a Rihanna. We recommend a Beyonce. And I'm like, dang, you mean to tell me like we just need to have the talent to like make something of quality, but we can just cover whatever prominent artists we already love, and like it'll get cleared on the publishing side. And yeah, so they gave us full creative license. I'm guessing they have an endless budget to clear the publishing side. So for that, one of our composers carved out time to do a Deja Vu cover, which already as a basis, like I love the original Deja Vu song. The bass is thumping on that. So the fact that he did like a string quartet orchestral version, I was excited to pitch that, and then lo and behold, sometime later, that ended up being a huge montage use in one of the episodes. So you know, so many reasons to love that. Like you have the obvious rewarding feeling of it, but then even on the technical side, you think about the fact that we got paid for the master ownership of that cover, that the recording. But at that same token, we technically shared a check with Beyonce and her team. Like they got a check for the publishing, we got a check for the master. So we're essentially it just feels cool to even think, technically about it. Like, wow. But I would say those are probably the two biggest highlights. And I'll fast forward to like I think a couple weeks ago, we landed two back-to-back NFL playoff placements, so that was exciting as well.
Um,
One, but yeah, so those are a couple things we've been up to. And maybe this is a good time to clarify, by the way, for everyone in here, just because I should say I wear two hats. One is a sync agent hat, the other is a music supervision hat. So everything I just named was on sync agency side, where it is us as an agency pitching music to a music supervisor. And I do a bit more of the sync agency work than I do music supervision work. But with that clear, maybe I should also just say at least a project that I've done music supervisor wise, in which for that I'll say um, there's a thing called featurettes, which ahead of any film or a big show, you have like cast interviewing each other, or you have like behind the scenes, or how this project was made. And believe it or not, featurettes also need music and need music supervisors as well. So with that being said, I was able to music supervise the featurette of the reboot of Mr. and Mrs. Smith. And I'm a Childish Gambino, Donald Glover fan. Like I like love anything he touches, musically or acting. So to be able to music supervise that feature out of that series was super rewarding. But yeah, so those are a couple things.
that sounds like that would be a really fun project to work on with like for somebody that you admire and yeah, just to get that opportunity would be awesome. I'm gonna work through the chat questions. So someone was asking about PROs, and so maybe you can give a little just explanation of why they're important, what people need to do with PROs for to make sure that they're covering their bases. They were asking if you're doing full songs instead of production music, should they be registered with a PRO? So yeah, if you want to talk on that a little bit.
Sure, absolutely. Yes, it's if you are creating songs and having like a sync agency pitch it and it lands. If you don't have a PRO set up and you don't have the song registered to a PRO, then you won't see synchronization royalties that are an additional stream of income beyond that lump sum that you would get paid for. So maybe I should actually start there. Like when you land a sync placement, you get a lump sum payment up front, which is the licensing fee. Then you get back in sync royalties depending on what kind of project. Um, but yeah, so that's why it's vital to have your PRO set up and beyond that, registering the songs. Uh, it, in a perfect world, you'd be registering these songs as they are done. That's a perfect world. But I'm going to be transparent and say the majority of my roster and artists, they more so just create, create, create. And then once we come and say, yo, we got you a placement, that's when they're like, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and, get the PRO, like get the song registered within, I should say everyone is at least registered to a PRO as themselves, but it's more so on that granular song level. Like that's when they're going back and saying like, all right, well, let me go ahead and make sure this is locked, this song is locked into place. So that way, and I'll go ahead and just touch on really quick. the admin process. The music supervisor we're pitching to, or the production company, is filling out cue sheets for whatever project that we're pitching to, and they're submitting the cue sheet to the PRO. So once they give that cue sheet to the PRO and it says, um, let's go Jared, I'll just keep going Jared, but it says Jared's first and last name on it, has his he's say with ASCAP, has all that. uh, they're just giving that to ASCAP. So if that song isn't registered, then it just like it doesn't catch. But if it registers, then that cue sheet catches and latches on, and that's when Jared, whatever his already royalty payments are, now he sees a new line every quarter that includes that new performance. So yes, perfect
Yeah.
world, keep up, stay on top of it. But best case scenario, if you are a pump out songs all the time and not a fan of admin, then at least make sure whoever you're working with and whoever is pitching your songs, or if you're pitching them yourself, just make sure that it is at least registered by the time you start talking about approving your song for use somewhere. So that way, it'll be locked in by the time the cue sheet is submitted.
That's great to like know that back end process. I didn't know how the music supervisors do that, like what their relationship with the PROs. But you can see how it'd be so easy if someone wasn't registered with the PRO. It's just a name then. They have no way of they're not gonna like look up every single person's contact and stuff. So yeah, I mean, if
Absolutely.
you look it up, I think there's numbers online of how much money goes unpaid to the
Like
artist.
unallocated.
Yeah, which is
Yeah.
wild. If you guys look, it's like millions of dollars, I think, that just goes. I think they just keep it. I don't really know what happens with that money, but yeah, the PRO, like registering with the PRO is very important. And registering your music with you, there's another step to that. Actually, like what you're talking about, putting each song in there, making sure that it's registered. Um,
For
okay, I've got a
sure.
couple
And
more.
I
Yeah, go
was
ahead.
just going to add really quickly, while we're talking about money that just sits somewhere and floats around, I feel like it's also a good time to say Sound Exchange is another similar situation where, PROs, you collect on your publishing intellectual property. Sound Exchange, you collect on your master side intellectual property. So that being said, registering your songs on Sound Exchange is it's just really everything I just explained. Just apply that to your master side. So it's register there when you can do that as well.
Cool. That's been a question in the past too about I feel like that sound exchange isn't talked about as much. And then the MLC as well. If people have heard of that, it's the mechanical licensing side of things. You can register your songs in similar ways you do with your PRO. There's so many different streams of where the money comes from, so covering your bases is the best way to go. Um, so next question, how would you say sync trends have evolved over the last year? Have you seen any changes?
Oh, that's a great question. I'm curious if someone I know asked that question. But let's I'm gonna just kind of go in my internal notes really quick just to see. I don't want to miss anything for that. At the same time, I'll try to think off top really quick. I feel like lyrics, songs with lyrics about betrayal have come up a bit more, and um, I would say there has been a trend change as far as the clients that come to us to ask for specific things. Um, I've seen a lot more lyrics that, at least for TV series, aren't as positive as usual, like confrontations, betrayal, um, finding out someone is disloyal. Those kind of things I've seen. But let me one quick second. Um, hate to do this
You,
because I know you like y'all can.
what was that?
I'm sorry. Oh, I said I hate to like kind of. slow it down by reading through, but I do want to just
Oh yeah, no, that's fine.
okay.
Yeah, that's a hard,
Um,
like, do you notice a lot? Is there shifts a lot in the trends, or is it like over time? Like, how often do you really notice those changes?
I would say, you know what, it doesn't really shift much for me. I feel like everything. I'm even looking now. Everything that I've like who I work with, I'd say like, hey, lyrical themes of this will be great. I feel like it's still relevant. Lyrical themes of feeling good, good times, having a good time. It's been relevant since I started, 6+ years ago to now. Saying goodbye or loss of a loved one still relevant. Lyrical themes of winning, being triumphant, still extremely relevant, and it's been for years. Women empowerment themes, extremely relevant lyrical wise. Yeah, I feel like a lot of the things I highlight for my team to keep in mind are for sure like not much has changed.
And what about genres? People, I think, have that question a lot, like what genres are being needed the most in briefs.
Mm, got it. I would say definitely like indie pop, indie alt rock, those pop up as well as for me. I should say too, and give context here. A lot of our clients they might work on they might have different people for different things. So there is like a bit of a tunnel of what we see in the briefs we get. Um, but I would say, you know, hip hop that's energetic, that's a big one. Party hip hop of all shades is a big one. I would also say, music that sounds like it's in different decades is a good one, and I feel like that one is also reflected in our current. If you look at the Billboard Hot 100 right now, it's currently reflected. Like I feel like a lot of Chaperone records sound like '80s records, for instance. Uh, that's kind of what I'll say about genres, and to that point, I'll say I don't really get as much as I would love to get R&B briefs. I feel like they're kind of, you know, here and there, as opposed to, a lot of the other genres are more, steady through. Ooh, and I do got to say one more thing that I actually like really can use and need, and that's music with neoclassical instrumentation in it. Um, and just to clarify, neoclassical, I would say that's, anytime you hear those furious, quick strings, orchestral strings paired with a hybrid of hard hitting drums with, different kind of cinematic sound effects, that's something that, we get requests for, and also the budgets connected to those are very high compared to, just the background use of pitching a song to the bar scene in a TV show.
Great. Yeah, it's good to hear all that context around what supervisors are looking for too, because do you think that some like supervisors that you have relationships with know you for a certain thing, so maybe they come back to you for that specific thing, so then you're seeing more of the same kind of pattern in, not to say that like those other genres aren't needed, but it's like they're knowing you for or going to you for a specific type of music.
That is absolutely it. Like I feel like certain people know us for, hey, they're they're a good company if you need R&B that sounds like '70s era R&B or Motown kind of
Yeah.
R&B. Which once again, shout out to Isaiah. He's one of our guys for that. Um, but yeah, and I just feel like it's a great thing, and sometimes it can be an annoying thing when you're only seen to be able to do one thing. No, when you know you can do more than that. Um, but in our case, we know our team can cover more than that. But yeah, that's I would say that's kind of where it's at as far as like being a sync agency. You almost have to make sure you have some kind of calling card as opposed to
Yeah.
being, a jack of all trades. In that case, you might get overlooked for the aces in that same
Yeah,
suite.
that makes a lot of sense. Um, on that note, I'm sure people will be asking this if they haven't already. I missed the question, but we will be accepting song submissions from everybody who's here today that we'll add to a disco playlist and share with Rashad after the call. So if there's any, are there any specifics that you can give us on like briefs that you've gotten recently, types of music you're currently looking for? Just so people can keep that in mind in the call if they've got any songs that they would like to submit that would maybe be a better fit for that need.
For sure. I'm just curious, how quick is this turnaround?
We can make it quick if you need it to be quick.
Because I literally just had got a brief for anyone who like specializes in covers. One thing that I'm working on in real time right now is it's a murder mystery show that they're looking for like a cover of Death Come a Knockin' by Ken Moores. And this is something where I need to send the pitch off by like 4 p.m. tomorrow. So for anyone who already has their systems in place to work fast and at a high quality, then yeah. Oh, Peter already knows that. Yeah, Peter
Oh yeah.
knows.
Peter's like,
So
it's due
so
tomorrow.
yeah, that's one where it's like because I know for a fact like and there won't be people that are interested in taking a swing at that. So this also might be a good segue into for the people who have the time and resources to pick and choose when they can create. If you can go for those briefs that are on the like path less traveled, then you will have less competition as opposed to hey, this is a party scene that needs a hip hop banger or any kind of current sounding banger. It's going to be a lot of options to pitch for that versus this a cover of Death Come a Knockin', on the other hand, you might have like only six other people that are six other versions of the song that you're up against. So it's just a higher chance if you can, do it at high quality. But so that's a like specific thing, but now I'll kind of zone out. I mean zoom out, I guess. Um some things that I feel like we've gotten recently. You know what? I want to say I'll do you one better than that. And like every month, we compile all our briefs that we've, gotten. So I can just give you a. I don't know if I can. Can I like upload files here or not? Because we literally. Oh wait, what just happened? Am I still on here?
Yeah, yeah, you're
Okay, file. Okay. Hold on a second. I'll actually just upload a file that everyone can download as they see fit. Let me see.
um yeah, there's some
Compile
people asking
briefs.
about also just to clarify that the cover you were talking about, Death Come a Knockin'.
Mhm.
Asking about the
Yes.
style. So you mentioned it was a murder mystery. Um, so that would cover probably a lot of genres as long as it's like you can imagine it being placed in a murder mystery show. Is it a show?
Yeah,
Is it
you
for
know
a
what?
show or is it for a
Yeah,
movie?
it's a murder mystery TV series
Yeah.
that's in its second season. And actually, let me dig more into that because one thing I should say is I never want to be the cause of someone going to a studio and creating and feel like they're just guessing. Like I just hate that. I hate it for myself, and I hate it when people feel like they're doing that. So
Yeah.
for anyone who actually is thinking about jumping on that after the call, let me like actually um, like send all of the
Thank you for sharing these um resources. That's really generous of you. If anyone missed
Yeah,
that in
no
the chat,
problem.
Rashad's sharing the briefs, so you can take a look at more specific details in those. If anyone's
Okay,
staying up late tonight recording for this.
so this is part of it, and here goes another important note to it.
Cool.
All right, so now that we have that, it's the end of an episode. Um, so one thing that's super important is they, want a like an instrumental intro for about 20 to 30 seconds. And beyond that, they wanted to have an American folk kind of sound to it.
Mm.
Um, and the tonal reference is like percussive chains that are happening. And I do think they want something to replicate that percussive element. But the biggest reason why they're so hung up on this song, but are sending out a brief, is because after this song doesn't switch into a different energy the way they would like it to. So that's kind of where the openness of creative comes in, where they would love a cover that starts similar, but then branches off into a different energy. So that's kind of the deal with that one. And I see that a couple of people said like how you can submit. I think whatever method that Jordan and Pandion had for sending, please use their method, and then once they deliver it to us, we'll be sure to check it ahead of the deadline, and um, and then if it works, we can directly kind of clarify what the terms will look like.
So yeah, if you guys want to submit, if you're going to submit for that opportunity, just make sure to do it. So I'll share the link. I mean, we could share it now so people have it. Um,
Yeah.
Sure.
so this will be a disco submission link that we manage. Pandion manages. And so if you want to submit to that link, and then we can share with Rashad in the morning tomorrow, so you can have a little time to get that organized. And you can still feel free to submit other things too. You don't have to submit for this specific brief. If you want to submit other things, we can give you through the next couple days to submit for anything else. And yeah, we'll share that with Rashad. It looks like we've got a couple questions. Ken, I think your hand was up first, so I can bring you on. Oh, where'd you go? I've lost Ken. There we go. Unless maybe your question was answered. Ken, do you want to
Right.
come?
How you doing? I'm so sorry.
No worries.
Hey, this is so great. How you guys doing? Hey, Rashad.
Hey,
Quick
Ken.
question. I've actually been in touch with somebody in your company before. Very nice. Jasmine. She's been
Oh
really,
yeah. She's
yeah,
literally working right now. Yeah.
she's really nice. Very nice. Quick question. I just checked out some of your briefs, and one of them is looking for a French Christmas song, upbeat. If it's not French lyrics and it's upbeat pop, would that still work, or it has to be French in what would you think?
This brings up a great talking point.
Okay.
So that's a great question. And ideally it like if the brief is like specifying a language, then it is great to deliver on every creative criteria that's being listed in the brief, including the language that's being specified. And
Okay.
and yeah, I think I just would love to, for anyone here who's like at a point where they're seeing briefs, I just want to say like if you ever have the opportunity to check 10 of 10 of the boxes in that brief, please do it. If you have 8 out of 10, that's cool and that's great. But ideally, that client that we're pitching to is
Uh,
somehow in some way going to hear
Wants French
a song
lyrics.
that
Yeah,
checks yes.
I got it.
And
Oh, that's fine. I
yeah,
respect that.
so
No problem. Thank you. I
yeah, no, and I'm
appreciate
glad you asked that because I'm sure that, some people in here probably need to just understand just
it. Right.
the
I
you know,
understand that.
the kind of
Yeah,
supply and demand kind of situation.
yeah, that's why I wanted to ask before I submitted it. I didn't want to just submit it without asking. Thank you. Appreciate that.
For sure. And oh, and Kane, you know what? And I'm sorry because in the scope and purpose of your question, yes, you're welcome. Like to just send us for this purpose of just sending us music to listen to. You're absolutely welcome to do that. But my answer is more so in specific to that specific brief. Does that make sense? Okay, cool.
Awesome. Okay, Brad was next, I believe. Unmuting you, Brad.
All right, am I unmuted?
Yep, you're all good.
Hey, Brad.
Hey, Rashad, I just wanted to take a minute here to say thank you. I have a few songs through Amber and Jasmine who are great and pulling those songs in, doing the admin for me, and just wanted to give you a shout out. And that was really nice that it went really smooth. And sometimes that can be a little tricky to get all your stuff in the right direction. And it went real well. And just wanted to say hi and thank you for the opportunity.
Cheers. It's nice to be tapping in, Brad.
Great company. All right, that's all I have. It's all good.
Good to see you, Brad.
For
Thanks for
sure.
being here.
Thank you.
Okay. Israel, I'm unmuting you now.
Hi, can you hear me?
It's a little quiet.
Is that any better?
Yeah, that's great.
That's
Perfect.
perfect.
Okay,
Hey, Israel.
great. Hi, Rashad. Hopefully you remember we actually had a consultation last year, so it's great to see you on this program, and this has been a great event so far. Just appreciate all the information. I kind of have two questions. One, I'm curious, like weekly, like how many on average, how many briefs are you going through and trying to fulfill? And at any given time when, as a sync agent, when you're, representing an artist, like, are you, are you open to starting with a single song with an artist and then kind of building from there? Or do you usually really want to see an artist come in with like, multiple tracks before you move forward with repping their music?
That's a great question. So to answer your first question, it fluctuates, but I feel like as far as the briefs, the number of briefs we see like week in and week out, I would say it would fluctuate maybe between 25 and 50, depending on whether it's slow or fast. Um, and I should also say, especially for the people that are already on my roster here, um, like you might not see as many briefs as we're actually working on because many of the briefs might even be a text message from a music supervisor that I just had coffee with. It's like, oh, by the way, do you got like R&B with a harp in it? Like that's technically a brief. Like, and I'm literally pitching to that. But it's just briefs come in shapes, different shapes, sizes, as well as like most of them in the sync agency person space are so fast. As you've even seen, even this one that I'm kind of throwing out there is due like before end of day tomorrow. So it's a lot of times we work on a high volume of briefs, but don't have the bandwidth to actually send them out to the roster, and more so we're tied to just literally searching within our catalog of music and pitching what we already have. Which honestly, sometimes I prefer that just because I want to do justice the songs that we brought and we have as opposed to over skipping those to see what's new and so on. So to answer your other question, working with new artists, I would prefer to work with artists that already have a decent sized catalog. But that being said, I'm also not opposed to working with an artist that's just getting started. If say those 2 to 3 songs are extremely strong, extremely high quality, and have some uniqueness about them that I feel aligns with briefs that I anticipate that I'd be seeing. Um, so also another thing I'd say is even more so about even more so, it's instead of thinking about it in a song way and how many songs you have. For me, I invite you to think about it more as what is my ecosystem and what does my support team look like? Like, am I a one man band that's writing, performing, producing the song, or have I expanded my team to where I kind of just specialize in what I truly enjoy and what I'm most efficient at? And then I have, two to three, maybe even four other people to where we can all put our hats in and bang out a high quality song within, say, 24 hours. Because I think ultimately us as a sync agency, um, if you're coming in with one or two songs, but you have a team where you are ready to start building your catalog based on, having it service sync, I extremely welcome that and would be, excited to tap in with anyone that's kind of in that has an ecosystem going like that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Israel, I'll unmute you in case you all good.
Oh no, that was great. I just wanted to say thank you. And that makes a lot of sense. So I appreciate that.
Thank you.
For
Great
sure.
question.
Yes, great question.
Cool. Peter is next. I'm unmuting you. Should be able to unmute now, Peter. Can't hear you yet, though.
Got it. I thought you unmuted me.
Oh, there we go.
Thanks for having the session, Jordan. Hey, Rashad, I just want to say great to see your face again, and I hope family life is going well for you. He's frozen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What's going on
We
here?
had that thing happen with the LA rain. It's throwing everyone's internet
Yeah,
off.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder, he'll probably have to rejoin.
Oh. Well, I'll give a shout out
Yeah, we can
to
bring you back
Rashad,
on.
even while he's absent. He's great to work with. So
Yeah, he's been a part of our community for many years now, and we love him. He's so great. Let's see. Well, I hear you. It's okay. Yeah, he's coming back on.
Jordan, in the meantime, can you make Rebecca co-host? I don't have access
Oh,
to.
yeah. Sorry. I don't know why. Yeah, here we go.
hey, Rashad, I didn't mean to scare you.
Um,
Oh,
Don't have sound for him yet.
oh yeah, let me make him he might because that's
Okay. Yeah, I thought it was I was like, yo, Peter, what's up, man?
Yeah, man, I just want to say great to see your face again. I miss yakking with you. And I hope family life is going well for you because that's been a change, right? It's pretty good. The question I do have, I love the idea, and your movement towards doing more music supervision. And will the organization grow a little bit? I mean, beyond, is Amber kind of holding down the fort if you're doing, music supervisor work, or how's that working for you in the office? Any changes there, or is it?
Yeah, it's I would say it's been about the same. Usually when I jump on a music supervision project, my coordinator on the team is, it's kind of an all hands on deck. If it's not crazy on the pitch side, they actually, and, as a music supervisor, you're researching copyrights, you're prepping cue sheets, and it's actually, I feel like, even more admin than creative. So it's kind of all hands on deck when coordinators are able to kind of help me make my way through the weeds on admin when I kind of have that hat on. So
Okay, cool. Well, good luck with the music supervision because that can only help your clients who have songs with you, right?
yes, and I would say, to my surprise, most of the supervision that I work on, I'm handcuffed to a production library. So, like, it's, in other words, like, the production doesn't have a music budget, so they go with their blanket license with Extreme Music or Sony Production Music, whatever the case is. So it can't like go within the library do that, but it really just comes with as hopefully grow as a music supervisor, budgets will be more liberating, and I'll be able to license music outside of the production library music tunes. So that's kind
Yeah.
of for sure.
Awesome. I hope that grows for you.
Thank you, and I hope all is well on your end. Nice seeing you.
Yeah, it is. Thanks.
Here. Thanks for everyone's questions. It's great to bring people on face to face. AJ, I'm going to unmute you now. I think you were next.
Thanks. Appreciate it. Good to see everybody on the call. Shout out to Marcus and Jared. I've seen both of y'all on wonderful Sync event panels in the past, and your guys' insights and knowledge has been really, really helpful. So I just wanted to give a quick shout out as well. But yeah, thanks to Pandion. Rashad, I had a question just because I feel like I'm being pulled in a lot of different directions right now, where as an artist, I have probably 70 fully registered and like monetized songs as an individual artist. I produce individually and as a partnership. In that partnership, we have about 5 Qs recently just signed in kind of that hybrid hip hop orchestral type of vibe that you were saying is like really in right now. And then on top of that, I have like 12 different songs that are with a trailer library. And so there's just a lot of different directions where I could be going. And I'm not really sure what to double down on right now. And I'm wondering if there's kind of any like insider tips that you're seeing in the market where it's like, oh, if you are a performing artist and you top line and you create, maybe that's a quicker way to scale and get more placements, or is it more on the instrumental and cue side of things? What would be your advice for somebody who's getting a lot of different creative briefs and can execute on them, but maybe it's just not the best use of time going in 4 or 5 different directions?
That is a great question. I just would say wherever, I think the best way to answer that is I'll just, I guess, speak uniquely to you right now. Like, so out of the different, hands, you have your hands in a few different pots. Like, have you seen a return in a specific pot thus far? Like, have you seen a placement in, say, a specific agency that's landed a tune, or has the library that you're in, have you, seen placements come from that? Is like, where have you seen the most return so far?
Yeah. So the placement that is like the most prominent actually was, well, it was based off of a relationship. And so just kind of the same way that you said is like, hey, friend of mine that works in the industry, they happened to get a call and was like, hey, can you turn this around really quick? And I sent something and it happened to place. So very unconventional kind of a brief. It wasn't like at a library or with an agent like in the traditional fashion. But then as far as like the straight up ROI, unfortunately, I've seen the most return in a buyout library type of situation. So there were 35 instrumentals that were already like purchased and repped. And then I was doing writing for them. And then, the whole scary in perpetuity contract terms that we don't, that we don't like for the publishing on the back end. So that's what I've seen the most return on. And I'm trying to get out of that cycle. So
That helps me provide. So that helps give context in my answer for sure. Because I agree, like it's so tempting and sometimes convenient to take those like lump sum upfront fee buyouts. And like even as a company, especially when things have been slow, we've contracted with different networks to do buyout packages. So I get it. And yeah, and it doesn't feel great when the song is so good that you want to release it yourself and then remember, oh, someone else owns this. I'm not even allowed to release it. So yeah, I would say if you're trying to peel back from that, I, maybe you can do it in a gradual process so that you're still seeing income, but at the same time you are keeping the good stuff for your own ownership. And yeah, like that one unconventional person you worked with, I think there must be a conversation there. If this is a person who's in a spot where they're, I'm guessing, in some kind of music licensing spot themselves, I would try to have coffee with them or something and expand to see who are their colleagues. And obviously you, as much as they got you a placement, you did them solid and a good look. So maybe there's grace there in them being able to introduce you to some of their other colleagues who work in a similar fashion. And I'll say them recommending you to their colleagues and saying like, hey, I asked for something, they delivered, that's going to go miles beyond you trying to do a cold email to that same person. Or, even if that same person had their own submission link and you submitted there, like having that mouth to mouth, I mean, that word of mouth recommendation is going to be it. So I would try to really do whatever you can to spider web off of that success. I would do that. And if you aren't already working with any like teams or sync agencies that send out briefs, it sounds like you are the type of person that can see a brief and kill it. It sounds like you need to be more in that environment where you are getting fed briefs and you kind of can pick and choose which ones you want to tackle. And I think that's a good way to um, start seeing income from copyrights that you now own, songs you own, and you can wean further away off of the buyout situation and just go, ideally, majority just licensing your copyrights.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate the advice. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Rashad. That was a great answer. I think probably other people are in similar situations. I know we have a lot of like producers here who do have their hands in a lot of things and have an ability to do a lot of things. So might be hard to kind of like know where to focus your energy. Thank you for that question. That was great. Okay,
Great.
we're running short on time. I'm gonna try Lisa. I think you had your hand up next. Isaiah, I'm so sorry if we don't get to your question. I'm gonna Lisa, if you've got something quick, and then we have a couple things we need to wrap up with at the end here. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, hi, Rashad, how are you?
Hi,
I
hearing
I
you.
was going to ask if like for myself, because I do a lot of different genres and styles, if I was to send you new songs that I haven't submitted before, would you prefer just a small sample of different stuff, or would you prefer just kind of one genre? Because I have such a large catalog at this point that I don't know which you prefer.
Yeah, that's a great question. I would say whatever your top strengths are, um, like sending that is ideal. Um, as well as anywhere where you've already had sync success.
Yeah.
We actually want to like you know get songs that either have already like been licensed and you would like another party pushing it, or either songs that are in the vein of like what you've already licensed. That's great, but I think
Okay.
ideally like more so a focus and sample size as opposed to the entire kitchen sink.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. It's good to see you.
Good to see you. Well, good to see you / hear you. Yeah.
Awesome. If we have maybe like 1 more minute, we can bring Isaiah on for last comment question.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Just text me, bro. Just text me.
Yeah, cool. Nice. We also have the Ask Me Anything on our Facebook group. So if anyone has like lingering questions for the next till the end of the week, go ahead and pop it in our thread for Rashad on Facebook, and he'll be on there once in a while checking those questions. And I just gave the link to our disco playlist 1 more time. So if you want to submit, go ahead and remember the brief for the cover song is going to be due tomorrow. So get that in as soon as possible. And then feel free to send anything else as well, and we can share that with Rashad for future opportunities. And then Rebecca has one announcement about another opportunity as well, I think, before we head off.
It's so hi everybody. I'm here. I know everything has been crazy since January, and I don't know if you're aware that I was one of the ones affected in the fire. I lost my house. We're good. We're settled. We have a rental for a year. There's a lot of devastation around that. Thank you for everyone who has reached out, and it's been quite the journey. But on that note, Pandion is collaborating with Earthstar Creation Center, my recording studio, to offer anyone who was affected by the fires, who's lost their gear and lost their studio space, that we're offering some studio time. So please reach out, and I will put it in the chat. And this is a collab with my recording studio, Earthstar Creation Center, and Pandion Music Foundation. Also, as you all know, we're partners with 2Indie. They're having something called Getting Signed in Sync, and I know Rashad is one of the great agencies and supervisors that's going to be part of that, and that's happening on March 20th and March 21st. If you haven't heard about it, check it out. Anna is going to put it in the chat, and we're giving a big giveaway too. I'm just gonna give you guys a little heads up. You're not like I don't know if you're gonna hear about this till later, but we're gonna offer a free studio experience at our recording studio, Earthstar Creation Center. And if you live in the US and you don't live in LA, a free round trip ticket. So that'll be the grand prize to join with this. It used to be called Get Wrapped, and now it's called Get Signed in Sync. And it's one of my favorite things. And actually, that's how I found Rashad. That's how we became friends, is through that. I got a song with Rashad in the beginning. This was before I started Pandion Music Foundation. So love Rashad, love Matt and Flo and everything that they're about. And that's it. That's my my thing I wanted to add. So anyway, how about you, Jordan? Do you have anything else? Or Rashad, do you have anything else to say?
Yeah, go ahead, Rashad, before I do anything.
CC and say shout out to Jordan for hosting. We appreciate you. And yeah, and the whole team, Rebecca, we just appreciate y'all for putting this all together. Rebecca, you're in our prayers, and you know, we are just hoping that everything is restored as it should be tenfold. And yeah, thank y'all for having me.
Thank you, Rashad. How about you, Jordan? Anything else?
Yeah, before I'll just remind people we have another workshop next week. If you're interested in joining us, it's going to be actually our first college edition workshop. So we have, let me make sure I say it all right. Next week, it'll be at 3 p.m. Pacific time, Navigating Music, College, and Your Artist Identity with Rain Kasaka. So definitely come join us for that. We're really excited. And yeah, again, just Rashad, thank you. Like Rebecca said, thanks for being a part of this for so long and always a support. We love having you in the community, and thanks for sharing, Rebecca, everything that you shared. Yeah, I think that's it on my end. So that was so great. We'll have the replay up on our website for anyone who missed any portion of the call, or if you want to share with others who might be interested. that'll be on our website. And excited to
Wonderful.
hear the songs that you submit.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you all that is our extended community, and thank you for those that are offering their time, like Jared, to our community, doing a little community service for us. And anyone else that wants to join, just contact us, hello@pandionmusicfoundation.org. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks,
Thank you.
everyone.
Bye, Rashad.
Bye.
See you soon. Bye.